Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Okay, a different kind of video for you today. Now, generally I like finding older movies and showing those and talking about those, but for sure I watch new movies as well, and I try and keep aware of who's up and coming in the acting world. So for today's video, I thought I would just go through a whole selection of different actors and actresses, young Hollywood if you like, who's on my radar, who am I aware of, who am I not aware of, and just talk about some of them. It's not going to be exhaustive, so let me know after you've watched this video which actors and actresses you think are deserving of attention and you're enjoying their careers. Here we go. Kaitlyn Dever. Really liked her in Booksmart and in the Netflix series Unbelievable. Maybe not so much in Trouble in Paradise, but yeah, she's really watchable. Up next in The Last of Us. Kodi Smit-McPhee, who's perhaps made his biggest impression in The Power of the Dog and Slow West, but I also saw him in The Road, Alpha and Let Me In. Fine actor. Mike Faist made a good impression in West Side Story particularly, and also in Challengers and The Bike Riders. Up next he's going to be in a TV series adaptation of East of Eden with Florence Pugh. David Johnson, he made a really good impression in Rye Lane and then cemented himself as a movie star, I think, in Alien Romulus. Excellent. Really interestingly, up next he's going to be portraying Chris Eubank in a movie adaptation of Ben Eubank, and he's also going to be in a Stephen King adaptation, The Long Walk. So, interesting career. Watch David Johnson. Niamh Algar, an Irish actress, really made a big impression when I saw her in Calm with Horses, and then I've also seen her in The Wonder, Wrath of Man and Censor, quite a big role in that one. Up next she's going to be in a series called Iris, which is written by the same guys that did Luther. Julia Garner, fantastic actress, really liked her in Kitty Green's movies, The Assistant and The Royal Hotel. She's also been really excellent on TV. I think I first saw her in Ozark, haven't seen all of the seasons of that. Inventing Anna as well, really excellent one. And she'll be up next in Lee Whannell's film of The Wolfman, quite exciting, as well as in the Fantastic Four next movie, so exciting career for her. Adele Exarchopoulos, excellent. First saw her in Blue is the Warmest Colour, but she's been fantastic in Justine Triet's Sybil, as well as Zero Fucks Given and The Five Devils, as well as Passages. And she's going to be up next in Chien 51 with Xavier Dolan and Louis Garrel. Bridget Lundy Payne, I haven't got strong awareness of her at the moment, but I did see her in the Netflix series Atypical, and whilst I didn't love it, I thought she was quite an impressive role in I Saw the TV Glow. Kathryn Newton, and I've seen her in more things than I perhaps realise, although she made an impression I think in Freaky with Vince Vaughn, quite enjoyed that one, and also I thought she was pretty good in Abigail recently. Morfydd Clark, I'm not really a big fan yet. I didn't really take to St Maud, and I haven't really enjoyed the new Lords of the Rings, Rings of Power series. But she is going to be playing alongside Riz Ahmed in a new adaptation of Hamlet. Could be interesting. Margaret Qualley, her career's certainly taken off. I first saw her in My Salinger Year and the Netflix series Made, really good in that. Also in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Currently riding high in The Substance, and she's going to be up next in films with Glen Powell in Huntington, as well as a couple of films with Richard Linklater and Ethan Coen. Dominic Sessa, not much to go on yet, but he made a really strong impression in The Holdovers. Coming up next, Now You See Me 3, I'm not too excited about that, and then a Christmas comedy called Oh What Fun. Let's see where his career goes. Nathalie Emmanuel, bit of an interesting one. First saw her in the Fast and Furious movies, not too impressed with her acting in that. But then I saw her in Game of Thrones, thought she was really, really good. And currently she's in Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, as well as a remake of John Woo's The Killer. Up next, she is also going to be in this Ben Eubank movie. Millie Bobby Brown. Can't say I'm a huge fan, to be honest, but I'm certainly aware of her. She seems to be doing a lot for Netflix. So I saw her in the first season of Stranger Things and the first Enola Holmes movie that she did, as well as a couple of the Godzilla movies. Up next, she's going to be back with Netflix for The Electric State for the Russo brothers alongside Chris Pratt, and another Enola Holmes movie. Alison Oliver. I thought she made a good impression in Saltburn, and then up next she's going to be in a FBI series alongside Mark Ruffalo called The Task, as well as a film that's written and directed by Ralph Fiennes, The Beacon, so could be interesting. Lucy Boynton, I like her a lot. First saw her in Sing Street, and then she's been good in things such as The Blackcoat's Daughter, Bohemian Rhapsody, Greatest Hits for Disney, quite enjoyed that one. But yeah, really interestingly, she's going to be up next in a TV adaptation that's about Ruth Ellis, the last woman to be hanged in Britain, and she will be playing the title character. That's Cruel Love, a Ruth Ellis story, alongside Toby Stephens and Toby Jones. Alex Wolff certainly made a strong impression in Ari Aster's Hereditary, and he had supporting roles in Pig and Oppenheimer, as well as being in M. Night Shyamalan's rather disappointing Old. Up next, he's doing his own film as a writer and director, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how his career goes. Ayo Edebiri so far hasn't made a big impression on me in terms of films. I did see her in Bottoms, I don't really remember that, but certainly she's very good in the TV series The Bear, and quite excitingly she's going to be up in the next film from director James L. Brooks, who did Terms of Endearment and Broadcast News, so that's quite exciting. Jack Lowden. Now, I feel as though I ought to know him a lot more than I do. I've certainly seen him in tons of his movies, but he hasn't really registered strongly for me yet. My sister absolutely loves him in the TV show Slow Horses. Up next, interestingly, again, he's also going to be in the James L. Brooks movie, as well as being in Rogue Trooper, which is an adaptation of a 2000 AD comic strip, and that's going to be for director Duncan Jones. Maika Monroe, I really like Maika Monroe, made a good impression in The Guest and also It Follows. My favourite at the moment still is Watcher. I wasn't over keen on Longlegs, although she's certainly fine in it. Up next, she's going to be in a remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, as well as a follow-up to It Follows, They Follows. Nicholas Galitzine. Okay, now keep this to yourself perhaps, but I didn't actually mind Cinderella, and I quite liked The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway, but keep that quiet. Okay, next he's going to be up though with a movie with Maika Monroe, 100 Nights of Hero, as well as starring alongside Hugh Jackman in Three Bags Full, a sheep detective movie, and then also for the director of Kubo and the Two Strings, he's going to be He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. Jessica Henwick. Now, interestingly, I've seen her in quite a few things, but she hasn't really made a big impression on me yet, except for Kitty Green's The Royal Hotel. Really loved that movie. Up next, she's going to be in a movie alongside Margaret Qualley and Glenn Powell, which is Huntington, as well as an animated movie alongside Ewan McGregor. Harris Dickinson, I really liked him in Triangle of Sadness, thought that was excellent, and I really love Scrapper as well, great movie. He was also good in The Iron Claw. Up next, he's going to be alongside Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl, and then also he's going to be in Steve McQueen's Blitz alongside Saoirse Ronan. Jenna Ortega is an actress I really want to see more of, just not in the movies that she's been making. I thought she was exceptional when I first saw her in The Fallout, but then since then she's been in franchise movies such as the Scream movies, the Beetlejuice remake, and the TV series Wednesday. All great roles, I'm sure, but I'm just not interested. But yeah, hopefully things will change for her. She's going to be in a movie for Taika Waititi up next, and then also in a new movie from Trey Edward Schultz alongside Barry Keoghan. So hopefully more to come from Jenna Ortega. Barry Keoghan, definitely going from strength to strength these days. First saw him, I think, in the film Calm with Horses. I really love that movie. And he had great supporting roles in things like Dunkirk and Chernobyl and The Green Knight. Really strong roles in The Banshees of Inisherin. Love that one. Saltburn I didn't love, but yeah, he makes a strong impression in that. Up next, he's going to be in the Trey Edward Schultz new movie alongside Jenna Ortega. The Immortal Man alongside Cillian Murphy and Rebecca Ferguson. And then also he's going to reunite with the director of Chernobyl for a film about Saddam Hussein. Anya Taylor-Joy, now certainly breakout role in Robert Eggers' The Witch, M. Night Shyamalan's Split, and then she's gone from strength to strength. The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, fantastic series, Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho, and then recently she was in George Miller's Furiosa, and she was absolutely fantastic in that, although I will still say that I think she was miscast. Anyway, she is going to be up next in projects alongside Miles Teller in The Gorge for Apple TV, and then also a film called Sacrifice with Chris Evans and Salma Hayek. Thuso Mbedu, now I thought she was absolutely fantastic in The Woman King, and then I saw her also in The Underground Railroad, really exceptional in that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of her developing in her career. Up next, she's going to be starring alongside Mark Ruffalo in this FBI series, The Task. Sydney Sweeney, certainly can't miss Sydney Sweeney these days. She's getting lots of roles and also in getting involved in producing, and she seems to have a really clear business strategy mind for boosting her career. First saw her in Euphoria as Cassie, really good in that, and I thought she was excellent in Reality, and also Immaculate has actually been my favourite horror movie of the last few years. Other roles, a little bit mixed at times, but yeah, she's an interesting girl and certainly has got a lot going on for her. Up next, she's going to be in Ron Howard's Eden, and she's also filming a role as a boxer, Christy Martin, as well as starring alongside Amanda Seyfried in The Housemaid. So a lot going on for her. Thomasin McKenzie, a young actress who's really been plugging away in a really good variety of roles. Jojo Rabbit, Last Night in Soho, The Power of the Dog, Old, and Leave No Trace. That's a really good one. Kaylee Spaney, I really love Kaylee Spaney these days. Now, I probably didn't really pay much attention when I first saw her in Mayor of Easttown and Bad Times at El Royale, but definitely when I saw her in Priscilla, that's when I knew who she was. And then she had the double whammy of being in Alex Garland's Civil War and then in Alien Romulus. I really enjoyed her in that. Up next, she's going to be in Rian Johnson's next Knives Out movie, so lots of exciting stuff ahead for her, I'm sure. Melissa Barrera hasn't really made a big impression on me yet. I haven't watched the Scream reboot movies. I guess I probably saw her first in The Heights, and she did make an impression on me in Abigail recently. I thought she was good in that. Up next, she's going to be in an interesting movie that's about the friendship between Andy Warhol and Jean-Michel Basquiat, starring alongside Daniel Bruhl and Paul Bettany and Jeremy Pope. So that one could be interesting. Beanie Feldstein, I really liked her in Booksmart, and she was in Lady Bird as well. Haven't really seen too many others, I don't think, in her career. Up next, though, she's going to be in a Richard Linklater movie alongside Paul Mescal. Merrily We Roll Along. Paul Mescal, definitely his career is in full speed ahead motion at the moment. So yeah, made a fantastic introduction in Normal People, the TV series. Great show that was. Fantastic in After Sun. All of Us Strangers, really strong performance in that as well. And then up next, he's going to be in this huge movie for Ridley Scott, which is Gladiator 2. But he's also filming with Chloe Zhao on Hamnet alongside Jessie Buckley. He's going to be in The History of Sound with Josh O'Connor, and also in the new film for Richard Linklater, Merrily We Roll Along. So lots going on for him. Daisy Edgar-Jones, loved her in the TV show Normal People. Thought she was pretty good in the disappointing Where the Crawdads Sing. Haven't seen Twisters. Up next, though, she's going to be starring alongside Andrew Garfield in Sebastian Lelio's Voyagers. Josh O'Connor. Now, I haven't perhaps followed his movie career too closely as yet. I did enjoy him as Prince Charles in The Crown, and I did think he was good in Challengers, although I don't love that movie as much as a lot of people seem to. But yeah, certainly he's got lots of exciting stuff coming up. He's going to be alongside Paul Mescal in a new movie, as well as possibly the new Steven Spielberg movie, and then he's also filming movies with Kelly Reichardt and another one for Luca Guadagnino. Justice Smith. Now, I haven't really paid too much attention to him as yet, although I did think he was quite good in the slightly disappointing The Voyeurs, and also in I Saw the TV Glow. He's also been in some of the Jurassic Park movies. Up next, he's going to be in the movie that's being written and directed by Alex Wolff, and he's also going to be in Now You See Me 3. I'm not interested in that, but yeah, he certainly seems to be an interesting actor. Hope his career goes well. Florence Pugh, I don't think I need to explain who she is. She's really well established now, although still a young actress. But yeah, great in movies such as Lady Macbeth, The Wonder, Midsummer, Little Women, etc., Oppenheimer. But yeah, lots of great stuff going on with her. She's currently in the cinemas now with Andrew Garfield in We Live in Time. I hope to see that soon. And then also she's going to be in this TV series of East of Eden, which is going to be quite interesting. Jacob Elordi, now first saw him in the TV series Euphoria, really good, and then I thought, quite surprisingly, he was excellent as Elvis in Priscilla. Recently he was in Emerald Fennell's Saltburn, and up next he's going to be in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein as the monster, and then he's also been announced to reunite with Emerald Fennell for the role of Heathcliff in a new version of Wuthering Heights alongside Margot Robbie. Michael Ward. Now, I think I probably first saw him in a movie about Trojan Records that was called Rude Boy. He was also in a TV series, Top Boy, which I know is meant to be really good. I haven't seen that. But yeah, also in Steve McQueen's Lovers Rock, part of the Small Axe series. And then, a bit disappointingly, but he was good in Sam Mendes' Empire of Light. Up next, he's going to be in the new Ari Aster film, alongside heavyweights such as Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, and Austin Butler. And talking of Austin Butler, here he is. So I probably first saw him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but didn't really register who he was then. Definitely he made a strong impression in Elvis for Baz Luhrmann. He was in Dune Part 2, really good in that. And The Bike Riders, pretty good in that, although I wasn't over keen on that movie as a whole. But yeah, up next with Ari Aster for the film Eddington. He's filming with Darren Aronofsky called Caught Stealing, and then possibly he's going to be in Heat 2 if that gets off the ground. Olivia Cooke, young actress who kind of has a look of Rose Byrne about her, but yeah, saw her in Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One, Sound of Metal, Thoroughbreds, and also the TV show House of the Dragon. And up next she's going to be in a TV series that's directed by and starring Robin Wright called The Girlfriend. Millie Alcock, not much film-wise at the moment, but she made a strong impression in The House of the Dragon on TV, and then up next she's going to be in James Gunn's Superman Legacy, playing Supergirl, and then I think we'll get her own Supergirl movie as well. And she's also going to be in a TV series alongside Julianne Moore called Sirens. Isabella Merced, not sure if I said that name right, yeah, hasn't really made a strong impression on me yet. I've seen her, I guess, in Madam Web and also in Alien Romulus, but she's also going to be up next in James Gunn's Superman Legacy. David Corenswet, now certainly I'm aware he's going to be in James Gunn's Superman Legacy next year, hopefully with him starring alongside Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I'm hoping that there's going to be some good chemistry between them there, but yeah, so far in terms of his films, haven't really been paying too much attention to him. Saw him in The Pearl and I saw him in Greatest Hits, but nothing too spectacular there. Mia Goth, definitely best known, I guess, for being in Ty West's movies X, Pearl and Maxine. But yeah, I've also seen her in Suspiria and Marrowbone. Up next, she may be, if it ever comes out, be in Blade alongside Mahershala Ali. And also she's going to be in Guillermo del Toro's version of Frankenstein. Hunter Schafer definitely made a strong impression as Jules in Euphoria, great TV show. I haven't really seen any of the film roles yet though, so I missed Cuckoo, I've missed Kinds of Kindness, and I've missed the Hunger Games reboot movie as well, so I'll catch up with those at some stage. Next up, she's going to be in a movie for David Lowery, which is Mother Mary alongside Anne Hathaway, and also in Blade Runner 2099, a TV series. Timothée Chalamet, still young but absolutely in-demand actor and really well established now. He's been fantastic in the Dune movies. He was great in Little Women, great in Call Me By Your Name, etc. So yeah, lots of really good stuff there. I really liked him in Beautiful Boy. That seems to be a bit of a divisive film. But yeah, lots going on for him. He's going to be up next as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown, and then also in Josh Safdie's new movie Marty Supreme. Saoirse Ronan, gosh, she seems like a veteran now if you think back to her child roles in Atonement and Hannah. But yeah, she's a fantastic actress. I really love her in the film Brooklyn. That's my favourite role of hers so far, although really good in Lady Bird and Little Women as well. Yeah, just a great actress. She's currently in the film The Outrun. And up next, I think she's going to be in a film called Bad Apples, as well as possibly in a reboot of The Chronicles of Narnia that she's working on with Greta Gerwig. And then finally, I may as well finish with a Z, and that being Z for Zendaya, an actress who definitely is getting lots of attention. Yeah, she's really good. Again, first saw her in the series Euphoria, really good in that. Fantastic in the Dune movies. Again, a strong role in Challengers, although I didn't really love that movie. Yeah, also Malcolm and Marie, which is a very talky film, but she gives a good performance in that. Up next, I think she is going to be in a film alongside Robert Pattinson, so that could be interesting. Okay, so as I said at the beginning of this video, not supposed to be an exhaustive list of every young actor and actress that there is working in Hollywood today. So just a cross-section, people that have come to my attention. But let me know in the comments, who are you excited for these days when you watch their movies, and whose careers do you want to see grow? Okay, thanks very much for joining me on this video. I hope to see you again. All the best to you. Please like, subscribe, and check out other videos on my channel. All the best. Bye-bye.